Okay, I don't really know how to make an intro. So yeah, this works, I guess. Okay, there's two different macros you can use for multiple account macros. And then I'll show you how to adjust them and have them clicked on. And then I'll show you how to like have your memory decrease by a lot using this. So first I'll show you with Maxtella's biome macro. So first I'm gonna pretend like I don't have this installed. So one sec. Am I leaking anything? No, okay. So basically what you wanna do is just extract it. Yeah, replace files. And then take the file you got and drag it onto desktop. Make sure it's the one with the folder. And now you're just gonna wanna run it like normal. This might pop up. It's nothing dangerous. It's just Windows hates it, I guess. Run anyway. And now you're gonna see two new files pop up, and you're gonna see this pop up. Just close it. Now what we're gonna wanna do is just copy it. And depending on how many accounts you have, just copy and paste it as many times for as many accounts as you have. If you have more than like 5 or 6 accounts, I'll show you a different macro you can use. But you can also use these macros to macro in multiple glitch on servers. That way, you're not cross-macroing. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that. That way, you're cross-macroing, but without getting banned, because you're using different accounts. And now what you want to do is go to each of your Maxstella folders and just rename them. So Maxstellas, I'm gonna name mine glitch biome 1 macro. I'm gonna name this one glitch biome 2 macro, and I'll name this one glitch biome 3 macro. And now what you want to do is go to, well, you can use your browser to join. You can name this whatever you want. So let's say you can name this one your main account, your alt account, your second alt, and you can just have these named as that. You can join through the browser if you want. It doesn't really matter how you join. I just have it saved like this. I'll show you how to get it set up like this. Basically, what you want to do is you want to join Source RNG in that account's private server. Make sure you load in first as well. Also, you don't actually need to wait to load in. If you just press F9, you should see 3 different biome messages. If you see this, then you can just turn on the macro. But to be honest, I prefer just wait to load in. Boom. Now we're loaded in. Now let's open the first macro. Now here, put in the private server URL and go to your channel. So for example, this is my channel. And go to integrations, click webhook, and then click copy webhook URL. And then you want to paste into here. Make sure you don't send your webhook around, because people can abuse this easily. Like, they can spam ping everyone, do whatever they want with it. Now that you have both here, all you have to do is press start. Now, if you have any auras on the account, like I do for my alt, you can turn on aura detection. So if I go here, macro started, to see if it actually picks it up, I can just equip an aura. As you can see, it picks it up, aura equip Poseidon. I can just unequip it now. I don't need to have this on. I personally don't like having this on. It's just personal preference. But now you can have this minimized as it's already running. Now you can join on the second alt after you have this running. You can have like your second alt by the side. I mean, you can have your second alt next to it, like that. Here you go, snowy. And now I can open the second biome macro. Now I'll just do the same thing I did for the first macro. And now basically I've done the second macro by putting its own webhook URL and own private server link. Now when I press start, it should run here as well. Now, I'll turn on aura detection for both, because I don't feel like waiting for biomes. Unless if they both magically just get biomes right now. If I turn on aura detection for both, they should individually get their own notifications instead of sharing just one biome message. That way, if you tiny task it or let it auto reconnect, then it'll detect its own biomes. If you get like glitched or dream space, it'll send the correct private server link instead of relying you to be online to send it. Now I'll show you that they'll detect their own different like notifications. This will be the same for biomes, by the way. So I've turned on aura detection for both accounts. If I go to aura storage and I equip an aura on both accounts, it should detect it by itself. So I'll equip bound on bound. Boom. It's detected here, but it hasn't sent it here because this has its own macro. So if I equip this, boom, aura equipped rage wallet, and it doesn't detect it here. And you can do this for as many accounts as you want. Although one issue I run into is Roblox upgrades sometimes, and when it does, it closes all the accounts. So there's a way where you can just open all your accounts and then just run one single macro. I'll show you how to do that, but you can only use one webhook URL as opposed to having multiple webhook URLs. Oh look, rainy. And this one doesn't detect it because it's still snowy. By the way, the newest version of Max Stella, when I make this tutorial, it doesn't detect snowy, by the way. Okay, well, time to show you the second method of macroing. I'm gonna install it like I haven't used it before. Okay, now I'm gonna open this macro, extract it, extract. I'm gonna drag this folder and drag it onto desktop. I'm gonna put it onto my desktop here. You can put it wherever you want. And I'm just gonna open it. And by the way, you need auto hotkey v1.1. I'll show you how to get that if you don't have it. Oh yeah, I should probably show you that right now, to be honest. You just go to your browser and you search auto hotkey. You click this. You click download. Make sure to download v1.1 and then you just run it and install it. That's all you have to do, nothing else. And then once you download it, this should work, or main should work. Now open this. Now you only need one webhook URL. You can put in your user ID if you want. So for webhook URL, I'll put in my webhook URL. So edit channel, integrations, webhook, copy webhook URL. Now put into here. Now for my user ID, for me it's really easy to get it because all I have to do is click on here and click copy user ID and boom. If you don't know how to do this, I think you just search developer mode. Yeah, just search developer here, click advanced, and then turn this on. Once you turn it on, it'll let you get your user ID, because if you don't have it on, it won't let you get your user ID, because apparently that's like a developer mode feature. But yeah, you can put it here. Now what we want to do is click biome settings and make sure dream space and glitched both have ping on. If they don't, then change it to ping. By default they should though. Now for glitch ping and dream space ping, make sure you put everyone. Don't put like your own user ID or like the bot ID. Just type everyone and leave it like that. Also for the biome end messages, you can have it on if you want, but if you're using like a lot of accounts, you do not want this on because you're gonna rate limit your webhook. Because if like multiple biomes end really quickly, then the webhook's just gonna refuse to send some of it, and that can be bad for glitched. So just leave it like that. Now that we've done that, yeah, okay. And by the way, ignore the click settings. This is kind of bugged, I'm not gonna lie, because like this happens. If you really want, just use tiny task, but I'll show you how to use this adjust windows things to click it for you. So don't use the click manager, just ignore this setting. Now go to account settings, and this is the most important part of this macro. What you want to do is go here and get the username of your account. So mine would be glitch biome, and you want to get the private server link of it. So for you would have to go to your browser and edit the private server to find the link, which I'll show you that in a second. You should know how to get your own private server link. If you don't, that's stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I just have it saved there. So I'll paste my private server link there. Now, by the way, to get your own private server link, I'll just show you real quick. If you don't use what I use, just source RNG, servers, configure. Now you just go here and you just press this, and now you've copied your link. So if you really want, you can just put your username, and then you put your private server link here. But for my example, I'll put both of my alts. So my second alt username is glitch biome 2, and for that private server link, I'll just get it real quick. I have it saved here. Boom, boom. Now that's it. Make sure you press save before pressing X. I like to press it a few times just so I feel validated. X. Now that's it. Make sure you have both accounts open. I think you can have as many accounts as you want, and they don't need to be open, because it'll detect each account correctly. I've seen this macro being used before, even though it's new, and every single time it's pinged the correct link. So now we can just press start, and in my macro channel, yeah, there you go, it'll detect the correct link. Glitch biome and glitch biome 2. Biome started snowy, biome started snowy. So it'll detect it correctly. Now I'll wait for a biome so I can show you it's gonna detect it in the correct account. Okay, now I'm gonna biome randomize. Boom. Sandstorm. It's detected sandstorm by itself. Okay, and now that this account has gone in sandstorm, glitch biome, it detected and used the correct private server link. Okay, for this example, I'm gonna say my alts are jumbled up. If I use adjust windows, yeah, if you've already run it, then that'll pop up. If I just press yes, it'll run like normal, and boom, it's sorted. If I run multiple accounts, which I will do now, I'll show you how this macro works. So boom, I'm gonna jumble the accounts up. Now I'm gonna press adjust windows, yes, and boom, they're all sorted. Now it may not be in the correct order, but the macro will sort it. And now if I press F5, it should click on all the tabs and prevent it from being AFK disconnected. Oh yeah, by the way, if you have Microsoft Roblox open, it'll attempt to click on that as well, so be aware. And to stop it from macroing, all you have to do is press F6, and boom, it's gonna stop macroing. Now one thing I can show you is if I click adjust windows, you'll notice that it's gonna eventually reach the bottom. Something you can do is if you right click it, click open with notepad. If you scroll down to this here, update position, if you lower it to like 10 and lower this to 10 as well, if I run it now, you'll notice the gap between the Robloxes will be smaller. So let me adjust windows. Boom. Now there's room for more accounts, and the macro will still work like normal if I run it now. Boom. And then you press F6 to stop it. It even works if you set it both to 1. So if I set both of these to 1, and I click adjust windows, if I press F5, it still works. Boom. And then F6 to stop. For my personal preference, because of the amount of accounts I use, I'm going to set both of these to 5. But if you don't use that many accounts, you don't really need to edit the code. I just shown you how to do it in case you do use that many accounts. So let me press let me adjust windows. Not including that. Let me close that. Let me adjust windows again. Boom. Now I'm going to press F5, and it'll just begin macroing like normal. Now the next thing I'll show you is how to use Roblox Account Manager. Now I'm just going to assume you've been using Roblox Account Manager to run multiple accounts, although you can use Fishstrap as well. I'll show you how to do both on both. So for Roblox Account Manager, what you want to do is go to settings, click unlock FPS, and if you want to use less memory and stuff, you can just change it to like 10 or 5. Or if you don't mind waiting to load in, you can just use 1 or 2. I'm gonna set it for 10 for this example. And go to developer and press disable image loading. Make sure that's on as well. Boom. Now for this, let's say I don't have any of these accounts open. So if I remove this account, for example, yes, I'm gonna pretend I don't have this account yet. What you wanna do is click add account. Now what you wanna do, oh, ignore that. What you wanna do is log into Roblox from here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Boom. Now you should notice it's here. Now, for this example, I'm gonna pretend this is the only account I have. I'm gonna ignore the rest of these accounts. Now, what you wanna do is either open browser. Now, you'll be signed in as the account you signed into Roblox Account Manager as. So just go to Souls RNG and then copy and paste these numbers at the top into here. By default, it'll be empty. Like both of these will be empty. So go here and copy this, and then paste with Control V, and then scroll down, servers, 3 dots, configure, generate link, and then boom, copy that. Now with your private server link that you just copied, you paste into job ID, and then boom, press join server. By the way, something I forgot to mention is you see like a save icon next to the job ID, so where your private server link is. Make sure to click save, so it actually saves it to that individual account. To actually like use the settings is if you launch it using this join server button. If you don't want to use these settings anymore, basically you just set it to what it was by default. So like for my example, 160, and I turn this off. And then press join server. After you press join server 2 times, it'll revert back to using the original settings if you've changed it. If you haven't changed it, it won't revert back to any other setting because you haven't changed it. That way Roblox doesn't update as much. Now you'll notice with less FPS and with disabled image loading, it'll look kind of weird like this, but that doesn't matter. Once you load in, it'll be normal. You'll notice your game's laggy, but that way you'll be using less memory and less CPU. And yeah, you should do this with the rest of your accounts. It's a lot more efficient to do it like this than with the browser. So yeah, that's what I've done for all of my accounts. Now I'm going to click adjust windows. Boom. 5 windows stacked on top of each other. Now I'm going to show you how to do this with Fishstrap as well. So instead of using Roblox account manager settings, you can use Fishstrap settings. So whatever settings you have on Fishstrap is gonna prefer that instead of this. So even if I change this to like 10 FPS and I set Fishstrap to like 2 FPS, it's gonna prefer Fishstrap's 2 FPS, even though I set this to 10 FPS. So I'm gonna install Fishstrap real quick. Okay, now that I've installed Fishstrap, I'm just gonna run it. Windows protected your PC, that doesn't really matter. Just click more info and then run anyway. What the Sigma? More info, run anyway. Okay, it didn't work the first time for some reason. All I had to do was just reopen it. Now you just click OK. Click next. And then click next. Once you get here, just click install and launch Roblox. This will close all tabs of your Roblox. You just want to launch Roblox so you can actually edit the settings. Because if you haven't installed Fishstrap onto your Roblox, some settings will be locked and you don't want that. Okay, now that I've launched Roblox using Fishstrap, I can close this. Now I'm going to click configure settings. Now I'm going to go to Bootstrapper. And here, when it says prompt to confirm when launching another Roblox instance, I think by default this will be on. Make sure to turn this off. And for multi-instance launching, you only want to use this if you're not using Roblox Account Manager's version. But to be honest, I prefer the I prefer the multi-Roblox from Roblox Account Manager because I just leave that open instead of using Fishstrap's version. Now go to deployment and make sure these two are on. This is irrelevant. So if you have this off, then it'll stop Roblox from updating, which stops all your tabs from closing. But if you don't do that many accounts, you can just have this off if you'd like. But if you do many accounts, then have this on, but just launch all the accounts using Roblox Account Manager, and the updates shouldn't bother you anyway. At least from my experience. Now for mods, you can just ignore this. Fast flags is going to be really important. What you want to do is you want to go to rendering and graphics, and for this, set it to 1x. Now for all of these, you want to turn every single one of these on. For frame rate limit, you want to change this to like 10, 5, or 1. Just depends how much you can bear for your game. 5 is probably a sweet spot, but 1 is the best for like performance. I mean, like how much of your CPU and RAM is being used. For this one, voxel phase 1, make sure this is on. Rendering mode, just leave it on automatic, but for me, I know OpenGL is the best. Prefer graphics card, just use automatic. And then texture quality, and then for texture quality, set it to level 0. And then boom, that's it. Now press save. Now if I go to Roblox Account Manager and I open my accounts. One sec, let me drink water. You'll notice the less FPS you use, the slower you load in. I don't know why this is. The loading screen isn't even real anyway. At one point, you could just skip it using Soul Sniper. So this loading screen is just bogus, but whatever. The less FPS you have, the less faster it'll load. For 1 FPS, it'll take like 3 minutes to load in. But yeah, once you do load in, you'll notice your game's gonna start flickering like this. Just press start. Yeah, it'll be back to normal. You'll notice your game looks like this and it looks really bad. But if you go to Task Manager and search Roblox Player, you'll notice that one of these uses 6.7% CPU and the other one only uses 1.2% CPU. The one that uses a lot less CPU is going to be this one, because of the way I set my graphics and FPS. Now for memory, I'll show you how to reduce that as well. Basically, all you want to do is go to the info channel, right click on this message and just press copy text. Now go to add new, import JSON and paste it into here. And then press OK. You'll notice this error pops up. This is for people who don't know what fast flags they're putting in. For me, I know what I'm putting in and this is completely safe. So yeah, just press yes. And just press yes again. Now press save. Now all tabs of Roblox must be closed before you launch again, because it'll update Roblox to import all these settings. So if I click this again, join server, now you'll notice some of the icons don't even load in anymore. And once you load in, you'll realize the whole game doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah, you'll notice your game flickers. I don't know what it's doing. Well, basically the whole game's unloaded. Well, most of the game. Anyway. Now, if I go to Task Manager and I click Roblox Player, yeah, you'll notice one is using a lot more memory than the other. So this is using 691 megabytes. This one's using 1,200. Now this may not seem like a lot, but it makes a big difference if you're using a lot of accounts. And also over time, the amount of memory being used kind of slowly increases. I'll show you how to stop that from happening. And then I'll also show you something that basically halves it all the time. Like maybe like reduces it by like triple. It's using Project Lasso. So go to downloads and then projectlasso.exe. And by the way, credits to this guy. He figured out how to do it and then he shared it with us. So Project Lasso setup 64.exe. Once you've installed it, just search for Project Lasso. Or for me, it'll be here. Because once you close it once, it'll look like this. Project Lasso. Now, it'll look like this. This looks a bit confusing, but you don't need to mess with any of this. By default, it'll look like this. The first thing we want to do is click on Options, Memory. And by default, Enable Smart Trim will be off. What you want to do is click Options, Memory, and Enable Smart Trim. Now when you go back to it, it should be ticked. Now we want to go to Smart Trim Options. And you want to go to here. And change this to like 30 or 25%. For me, 25% works. And then for Enable Smart Trim, you want to set this to 1 minute. And then that's it. Just press OK. Now click Active Processes. And scroll down until you find Roblox Player Beta.exe. We'll just have to do this once. Right click it. Oh no, hold on. Right click it. And then Efficiency Mode. Always. And then press On. And then once you've done that, click on Roblox Beta.exe again. And then go to CPU Priority. Click Always. And then press Idle. And make sure this one is ticked. So click on this. So now here it should say Idle. And it should also say Efficiency. Now if we go to Options, Memory. Let's just press Trim now. And then just press OK. That means it's going to do the trim thing now instead of waiting 1 minute. Now if we go to Task Manager. And you search Roblox Player. Look at that. 168 megabytes. This one is 380 because that's my other instance. But this is without Fishstrap and without Roblox Account Manager. It's just a normal tab of Roblox. Now you'll notice it starts to go back up. But every minute it'll check for this. And then it'll reduce it back to how much it was before. Now one last thing I can show you is BES. And this is for CPU usage. I'll put the download in here after the video, so don't worry. So all you have to do is open BES. Now this will look a bit weird at first, but don't worry. Click Target. And then you'll see all this. Just press Name. And it'll sort it by letters of the alphabet. Now you want to scroll down until you find Roblox. Boom, Roblox Beta.exe. I've already messed around with this before, so that's why it looks like that. Now click on Roblox Player Beta.exe. Click Limit/Watch and press Yes. Now by default, it'll be 33%. Now this isn't a lot yet because we want to do a lot of accounts. So let me open Task Manager. Roblox Player. Now here we've already reduced it to 0.8, 0.9. But that's because oh, what the hell? But that's because I have a good CPU. If you don't have a good CPU, this is going to be really useful. So basically, this limits how much of your CPU can be used. If I press Shift F5, we're still reaching 10 FPS. But if I slowly reduce this, that isn't pretty slow. If I reduce this like minus 75, you'll notice my frames are dropping. But the amount of CPU being used is lowering. And it's occasionally just not using my CPU. And look, there you go. It's just been trimmed as well. Now you can keep going. But if you do it too much, your game might start freezing. And you don't want that to happen. Because after 20 seconds of a frozen game, you will just disconnect. So keep pushing this further and further until it starts freezing. When it starts freezing, you'll want to go back a few percent. And just leave it like that. For me, it hasn't frozen yet, so I'll just keep going. Oh, well, to be honest, I'm averaging 0% usage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now, for the next Robloxes I open, this should be happening anyway. So, if I click this and launch my next account, boom, it's already targeted it because we've already targeted the first one. And here, it's minus 80 because that's what I set it to as before. To be honest, I don't know how to set it as default, so let me just double check what I said. Now that we've done both accounts, by default, it still should say minus 33%. What you want to do is, now that you've done both, just close this and click unlimit all. Now you should notice it should say unlimited and unlimited with OK and OK. Now you want to click target again, and you want to scroll down and find Roblox beta.exe. You want to click limit/watch, press yes, and boom, both will be targeted. Now you just want to scroll it up to how much you want. Boom, my third account has opened. Oh yeah, because I set it to minus 33% before unlimit all, it set it all to minus 33. So let me just do it again real quick. So I'll set everything to like minus 86. I'll set this to like minus 86 as well. That's minus 90. I'm gonna close this and I'm just gonna unlimit all. Now I'm gonna target Roblox beta.exe, limit/watch. Yep. Now they're all minus 86. Now when I open another account, it should be minus 86 as well. Boom, minus 86. To be honest, if you have the time and patience, you could set this to like whatever you want for each account. But I've just shown you how to make it the default. I don't know why it works like that though. That's the only way I know how to set all of it to like whatever percent you want. This is really good if you use like 20, 30 or 40 accounts at once. So yeah, that's how you use BES. Now if I go here, you'll notice this has CPU usage because we're in the loading screen. You'll notice the top two don't have CPU usage at all. By the way, don't close BES. You can just minimize it. And for this, you can close it. It'll just go into your system tray here. Also, if you want to alt farm and use Project Lasso, like while you're on your PC, you'll want to click Options, Memory, and then go to Smart Trim Exclusions. And you'll want to put some exclusions because Smart Trim will try to Smart Trim everything on your PC. So for like Google, you put Chrome.exe. For Discord, you put Discord.exe. And for Brave.exe. If you use Soul Sniper, you want to put main.exe. And then you want to use Windows 10 universal.exe. And once you put everything in, just press OK. Or how you add it is just like google.com, for example. That's not going to work, by the way. Do not put that. Like, you just add it, and then yeah. And once you've added everything, you just press OK, and it'll ignore it. It won't try to trim it. Okay, well, yeah, that's all I have to show you. By the way, let me just promote my server real quick. That's the server link. Join my server. Okay, yeah, that's it. Thanks.